supportive, some of them, quite a lot of them critically saying, I bet you're really buying toothpaste. Or you must have bought, that looks like a new pair of glasses, someone said. These glasses are held together with super glue, let me show you, they're very old, knackered. But one of the messages, one of the email addresses was such and such at bbc.co.uk, which I sort of noticed and then ignored, and then I had loads of emails from someone at the BBC and I ignored them, and then eventually I kind of looked at them and went, oh, that is someone who works at the BBC. And so now I'm presenting a programme next year about consumerism and ethical consumerism and people who aren't buying stuff. So I got a job, which is the last thing I wanted to do. And then the editor of The Ecologist magazine saw these YouTube things, and now I write a column in The Ecologist about not consuming stuff and what it means. And then a woman from Hamlin Publishing saw the articles in The Ecologist magazine and said, will you write a book about it? So from giving up doing stuff, the whole point of it was I didn't want to do anything, I was being lazy, I didn't want to buy anything, I didn't want to write a book about it, I didn't want to make a television show about it, and I didn't want to write articles about it. It's become a job. Not consuming stuff has become a job. But I am saving up for next January. Because I really want an iPod Touch. I know it's a consumer unnecessary thing, but I quite like them. Have you seen them? Where you do your scrolly thing. I don't want an iPhone, I'm not interested in that because I'll just lose it, but quite like one where you can watch films and stuff. That's all I'm going to buy. And some socks. I'm not going to show you my socks, but I've got good at darning. These are my best, these are my best trousers. This is as good as it gets. The other ones, it is quite interesting, if you don't buy anything at all, like nothing, you do tend to get a little bit threadbare, what's that called, that word?
Threadbare.
Threadbare, thank you. Threadbare, yeah. But anyway, so that's what I'm doing, and I don't know quite why I'm doing it now. I've kind of lost the plot bit, but it's because I've done 9 months of it. I've got to stick with it now until next year, so that's what it was about.
I'll ask this question, I've asked it to every other cast member. If you were given the chance to do a spin-off from Red Dwarf as Crichton, what direction would you like to take him in?
Oh, cooking.
Not toiletry.
Not what, sorry?
Not toiletry.
Oh, well, I think basic domestic hygiene obviously would be a side issue. We like sort of Nigella's kitchen, I need much cleaner. And it would be lovely. And all the food would be very, very clean. I'd wash all the food before I cooked it, regardless of what it was. And it would be very, yeah, I'd love to do that. Crichton's kitchen, I think, would be. The downside would be the heat. Would be standing near a cooker in that costume would be a great deal of fun. Yeah, and chopping onions with those gloves on would be quite difficult. At the back.
Oh. Did your Woman Wizard tour? Do you have any more stand-up plans?
No, Woman Wizard tour, no. No. There's a character I've done, and I might do, there's a new kind of cabaret venue opening in London soon, which is for, one of the nights they're going to do is for established comedians to do something they don't normally do. So no one would be on the bill. But I know people are organising that, and there's a character I do called Professor Vivian Alice, who's a professor of oral studies at Oxford University, and he's a dirty old pervert with stained trousers, and I quite like doing him. When sometimes when I'm at the BBC I say I was at Oxford in '72, which is true, but I worked in the kitchens. I didn't actually study as a student. So I always think I've made Tony Blair toast when he was a student, and cleaned up after him. Because I used to work in the kitchens at Brasenose College doing breakfasts. I did the early morning shift. So I was at Oxford in '72. But when I was there, I did meet people who are the most extraordinary. I mean, people who've never mixed with general society, who are kind of Oxford dons and weird professors. And I mean, at that time, there would still have been people who were sort of been through the war and were scarred by that, and a few professors who were slightly peculiar in their mannerisms, and all that sort of stuff, and would spit at you as they spoke, and would have one word be much louder than any of the other ones, for no reason whatsoever, completely barking mad, but would be able to recite half the Bible in Latin, or the original Aramaic. You know, they were quite extraordinary people, but you wondered what made them get up in the morning. They were quite weird. So Professor Vivian Alice is based a little bit on him. And there's a guy that I've worked with a lot called Charlie Dancy, who's did a lot of the DVDs and stuff with me. He's a computer wizard, and his dad was the dean of Oxford University when I knew him. And we used to go to dinners Lincoln College and meet these marvellous... Are you a student here, Robert? No, I'm not, no. I'm sick. Got expelled. Yeah. I'm a radical. Marvellous! How extraordinary! Didn't matter what you said. I'm a teenage runaway criminal, drug addict. How absolutely extraordinary! How long have you been doing it? So, yeah, no, great fun. There. Yes, no. Oh, yes, microphone. I could do it, really. I could do that. Oh, man.
Right, my question's in two completely unrelated parts.
Right, okay.
First part is, who do you think would win in a fight between Crichton and Data? Don't ask. And the real question I wanted to ask you was, how different was the finished Beyond the Joke, which was the episode you wrote, to your original script?
Oh, yeah, all right. First, I don't know enough about Data's physical abilities, but Crichton's pretty hard. And if you had the right groinal attachment, I think Data would be in trouble. In more ways than one.
Yeah, but Data's
What, sorry?
Data's really fast.
Oh, is he fast? Yeah, Crichton was shit, I think he's really slow. Okay, Data would win. Hands down, no trouble. Crichton might cheat if Lister had taught him how to cheat, that's true. Good point. Yeah, well made. Yes, Beyond the Joke was 70–80% totally different. The original one. The opening sort of 10 minutes is pretty close to the thing I wrote originally, which is where the idea came from about the Jane Austen world. That was definitely, there was a lot of that, the tank, Mr. Bingley's gazebo, a lot of that stuff was in the early version.
Because you certainly wouldn't have written yourself in as an alternative Crichton, would you? You know, it's bad enough having to...
No, but the whole point, no, my cheaty trick, you see, I thought I got away with it, was that I wrote Crichton out. His head blew up in just about scene 3 in the original script, and then they only found another head right at the end. Yeah. So basically I didn't have to wear the head.
Because Crichton said if he wrote the episode and he complained about playing Crichton, why the hell would he play...
Exactly. No, that was Doug's brilliant rewrite. Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah. More masks, yeah. Yeah, no, that was very cruel, really. Yeah, so I didn't get away with that. Yeah, because I'd worked it out, so you still get paid. I still get paid my episode fee, but I wouldn't, I'd only do like half a day's work. That was my special.
Could you say that line again?
Yes, I'm not sure I believe that, Craig. I'm not sure that's quite there. Have you really got the character? But the other problem I did was I wrote quite a funny script, I think, when we first read it. Quite a funny script for Chris, Danny, Craig and Robert, as opposed to Lister, Crichton, Cat and Rimmer. It was for the actors. That was the difficulty of doing it, because I knew them so well, but a lot of the joke, they liked it because it was quite funny, but it wasn't Red Dwarf, it was sort of Red Dwarf rehearsal room.
4 blokes looking at it.
Yeah, four old blokes looking at it.